I'm Noel with Noel's Frags, and this is my Creed summer lineup. Maybe not my summer lineup, but a Creed summer lineup. So Creed is a house that I'm a big fan of. It was the first niche house I really dug into. A lot of the Creed offerings lean towards warmer months. So you have like a lot of fresh, citrus, and it's like sparkling components, and it's just usually very light. Most of their fragrances are, so that I don't really have too many Creed fragrances that work well in winter just because they don't make that many. So these are some of the fragrances I would recommend to wear during the summer. Maybe I wear during the summer sometimes, but I'm kind of like a bad boy, play by my own rules. Sometimes I wear like heavier stuff when it's scorching hot out and I just don't really care about how cloying it may be to people around me. But not everyone's like me. And when I say summer, this is southern United States summer. So it's, you're in the 90s up to 100, and it's not a dry heat. It's a very humid heat. So it's a very sticky, thick heat, and the summers here are very gross. Everyone's very sweaty, and they just stay sweaty. It doesn't evaporate because the air is just as sweaty. First summer Creed, Virgin Island water. So this is really a simple fragrance. A lot of fragrances open up with bergamot. Well, this one goes the direction of lime. So it's lime and coconut. That is the vast majority of this fragrance. It's very fresh, it's very clean, a little bit of a beach vibe to it. And it holds up really well. Like lime in the heat works really well. It's surprisingly thick though. Like you, I sprayed this on during the winter time once. I sprayed it on like several times because it was winter, and I wore a jacket. And I was at work and I was doing something. I was moving some stuff around and it got really warm. So I took off my jacket and I basically choked out the 5 people around me because I had oversprayed. And this surprisingly, held up and just was like, "Oh, what's up, everyone?" Whack, whack, and slapped everyone in the face with a bunch of lime. But yeah, it's definitely an awesome fragrance. Then you got Silver Mountain Water. This is a lot of inky tea, like ink green tea, an Incan green tea. Not Incan, like this ancient civilization, but like ink and green tea. It's shimmery, it's sparkly, it can hold up to the heat really well. It's a very light fragrance. It almost has like a rose aspect to it. It almost smells like there's some rose in there. It depends on the day, really, but it can hold up to the heat really well. I don't wear this one enough, I don't think. It's one of the fragrances that holds up to like blazing heat. Like I don't envision this getting cloying to me. In the times that I've worn it in the heat, it never bothered me. But yeah, I think this one can hold up really well. Next, you have Milosam Imperial. It's a very fresh melon, citrus, and the note says salt. Everyone says salt. I don't know exactly how to describe salt to you. I used to be a sous chef in a kitchen, and we used fleur de sal, which is a fancy sea salt. It means flower of salt. And it didn't really have that much of an aroma to it. So I don't know exactly what people mean when they call something salty. So this is a salted melon fragrance as per everyone else. But to me, it just smells like light melons. Like if there was like a melon LaCroix, where it's not quite a full-on melon, but like it's sat next to a melon. That's what this smells like. It's sparkly, it's light, and this is another one that can stand up to blazing heat without getting cloying. It definitely works well in the sticky southern heat, the south, and the moist. And this, you just smell good while being real hot. So you'll be drenched in sweat, and sweat will be running down your face, and you'll look a hot mess, like your face is red from the sun, but you'll smell good. And people will be like, oh man, yeah, you smell good. And it's all because of this one. Next up, Aventis Cologne, or Diet Aventis. It's essentially like a little more mandarin in the open than your pineapple and Aventis. The birch and stuff and the dry down is lighter, it's woodsier. It's not a heavy Aventis. It's Aventis for when it's hotter. Even though I still wear Aventis when it's hot outside, this is a less intense, a less thick version, I would say. It really smells good. I mean, I don't have much to say about this other than it's like Aventis, but slightly fresher with some like mandarin in the open. I still think there's a hint of pineapple, but not nearly as much, you know. It's a good one, but I mean, who cares? Wear what you want. These are just fragrances that I've noticed that hold up well in the heat. Let me rephrase that. These are just fragrances I've noticed that don't make me sick when it's disgustingly hot outside, or that just still smell like appealing to people around you when you're outside in a super hot environment. And then you got Creed Original Vetiver. So this is a bergamot forward, really refined vetiver. It's not earthy, it's not smoky, it's just a clean vetiver. It's a similar vetiver to what's in Tom Ford's gray vetiver, like that kind of refined vetiver. But the Tom Ford gray vetiver Eau de Toilette, which is not as common and not as easily found. The gray vetiver EDP, which they're still making, that has more of like a slight nuttiness to it, and I'm not a fan of nutty vetiver. This is not a nutty vetiver. This is a very clean vetiver. If you're a vetiver lover, this probably isn't the fragrance you're looking for, just because it isn't going to have enough oomph for you. But it holds up well in the heat. It's a good office fragrance too, just like year round. Like, it's inoffensive. This is probably one of the most like easygoing, like chill, like easy to get along with fragrances I've owned ever. Yeah, just a simple bergamot vetiver. I think Mugler Cologne is in this similar vein. I haven't smelled Mugler Cologne. I've heard many a testament to this, so this is hearsay. This isn't coming from yours truly. This is just word around the water cooler. But yeah, solid one as well. And last but not least, from the exclusives collection, you have Pure White Cologne. Now, this is one of my favorite creeds. It is clean, it is fresh, it's light, it almost smells like a little bit of lavender, geranium, like muskiness, and it's very uplifting and clean. Like, it doesn't feel sticky whatsoever. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of fruit or anything. It's just like clean, fresh florals. But I would say it leans a little masculine. I'm not saying it's not a unisex fragrance. I think anyone can pull it off, but it leans a little more masculine than your average floral. But yeah, man, oof. And it works so well in the heat, like, because it's not thick at all. It's not a cloying scent. Very fresh, very pleasant, very uplifting. A solid choice. So those are some of my favorite creeds to beat the heat. I say that and I envision some like jacked dude with a baseball bat bludgeoning the sun to death. Maybe like the son's in prison and gets shanked in the shower. The son's in prison and gets shanked in the shower. It's like a tongue twister. This is really deviated from a fragrance review. If you enjoyed what you saw, throw me a like or maybe subscribe to see more content. And as always, thanks for watching.